Hello again and welcome to MMOFTW, your recap of the top stories from the week that was in the MMO world. I'm Bill Murphy and I just saw The Dark Knight Rises, so you'll have to forgive me if I seem a little out of sorts. That and there was also an awesome teaser trailer for the Man of Steel right in front of it, so my nerd meter is kind of freaking out. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? This week, Runescape hit its 200 millionth account. The War Z was announced and promptly demanded brains. Rich Vogel left BioWare and more layoffs were seen at the Old Republic. Guild Wars 2 detailed its legendary endgame, and our own RipperX got a special hands-on Bootcamp with Planetside 2. Plus, in our Community Spotlight segment, we'll ponder whether DayZ's success as a mod will propel the development of another AAA Sandbox MMO. Hope you're coping well with the Guild Wars 2 withdrawals, because this is MMOFTW.
The marvelous milking cow. It's fun to milk her, gonna do it right now. She drinks the water when we pump her tail. She's raising her head, it's milking time now. Her pretend milk is a feeling the pail.
First up, we want to offer a huge congratulations to the Jagex and Runescape teams as their little empty MMO that could reach the 200 millionth account creation this week. That's 200 million people who have played or are playing the original independent MMO. We at MMORPGcom want to offer our heartfelt congratulations, and we eagerly await the day when we can get to do a show and commend them on the 300 million. Here's to many more years of success for Runescape. Moving right along though, we come to the announcement of the War Z, a zombie apocalypse MMO shooter from Arctos Entertainment and Hammerpoint Interactive. In development before the release of the Arma 2 mod, DayZ, the War Z, or TWZ, is set years after a viral outbreak decimated humanity, leaving those who remain to struggle for survival in a lawless environment populated by hordes of undead zombies. You know, one of those stories. Players will fight alongside and against each other, setting traps, collecting bounties, and helping their fellow man or killing them in a wide open world with hundreds of other survivors. The game's due out this year and will only require a base purchase to play. You can find out more at thewarz.com. Funny how the game has the same name as the website. From zombies to Sith, however, we regret to inform our viewers that BioWare has laid off more of the Old Republic staff this past week. Our contact at BioWare had this to say on the matter. As with the launch of any MMO, the size and skill set of the teams needed to maintain the game is different than the teams that built it. Starting in May, there have been staff reductions in the BioWare Austin studio. Some people have been platooned to other projects at BioWare Austin and EA Sports Austin. Others have been released. Qualifying personnel receive severance and outplacement assistance. On top of that, TOR's executive producer Rich Vogel has left BioWare Austin as well, but no explanation for his resignation was given. On a more happy note, we're moving right along, get away from all that dark side stuff. The fine folks at ArenaNet took to twitch.tv not long ago, and our own Mike Bitton summarized the extent of what Guild Wars 2 will offer in the form of endgame content. From Mike's recent column, what is ArenaNet's stance on endgame in Guild Wars 2? Well, you'll often hear the team mention that the game is all carrot, no stick, and that you're basically experiencing the endgame the whole way through. There isn't some random shift at level cap in terms of what activities are available to players or how they continue to progress their characters. There also isn't a focus on power through shinies, also known as the gear grind, and this has left MMO vets a bit baffled. Mike's article continues to outline the Mystic Forge system as well as the zone of ORR, O-R-R, a massive zone that will house Guild Wars 2's most dangerous PvE content. There's tons more info all about the Guild Wars 2 endgame that Mike gleaned from that twitch.tv broadcast, so head over to MMORPG.com and click columns to find Mike's latest. Last but not least on the news side of things, our own RipperX was invited out to SOE in San Diego to take part in a boot camp for all things Planetside 2. He came back with a massive overview of the game, as well as several exclusive videos highlighting the playtime with the MMOFPS that he got while he was there at the studio. You can head over to Planetside 2's game page on MMORPG.com and visit us on YouTube at MMORPGcom for more details. Suffice it to say, Ripper was immensely impressed with Planetside 2's gameplay, and with beta lurking just around the corner, it won't be long before we all get to taste of what SOEs got up their sleeve. Last, and certainly not least, we come to the community spotlight. And this week it's a bit of a touchy subject. I feel like we keep circling around this whole sandbox and theme park mentality thing, and this week is no different. User Mismo wonders if the success of the Arma 2 mod DayZ, also mentioned at the beginning of the show, will open up the path for AAA developers to see why sandbox games can be done and can be profitable. For my own 2 cents, I think it might, with an emphasis on might, it might actually help AAA developers see this fact. I could be wrong because I'm no businessman by any extent. I just write about games and talk about them, and someone manages to pay me for it. I don't know why. I'll never understand it. But I would think that a sandbox MMO, which relies on the players and their actions to create the actual content, much like DayZ, requires a lot less development cost and manpower than something like Star Wars, which reportedly cost well over $100 million to make and have all that voice goodness and all that cinematic stuff. And while it may get some big studios pondering the possibility of an open world sandbox, I think it's highly more likely that in the short term, we'll keep seeing little independent studios pop out sandbox experiments that can and will catch fire, much like DayZ has. And if that happens, you can bet a bigger company will finally be unable to resist the lure. My question then would be, do we really want EA pulling the strings of something like DayZ? That'll do it for this week's MMOFTW. Remember to follow me at @TheBillMurphy on Twitter, and to follow all of MMORPG's content on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at MMORPGcom, without the dot. I hope you guys have a terrific week, and remember, don't ever let a bad pug get you down.